Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman. And today, at the conclusion of Clark Kent's amazing story of the planet Krypton, Lois Lane and Perry White are eager to question him. When Dr. Whistler, head meteorologist of the Metropolis Museum, died, Superman was alarmed because, apart from himself, only Whistler had known the importance of a meteor, a fragment of the former planet Krypton, which had fallen to Earth about a year ago and was now locked in the museum's vault. Deciding to take Editor Perry White and Lois Lane into his confidence, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, told them of the last days of the planet Krypton, where a race of Supermen once lived. Knowing the planet was doomed, Jor-El, a brilliant young scientist, had just completed a tiny model of a rocket ship when Krypton began to disintegrate. Placing his infant son in the rocket, Jor-El directed it toward Earth and sent it away just as Krypton exploded into 1,000,000 fragments. As we continue now, Perry White asks eagerly,
Baby in the rocket. It was Superman, wasn't it, Kent?
That's right, Chief. The rocket landed in a farmer's field not very far from here. The farmer and his wife rescued the baby and reared him as their own son. They gave him their name, and they
What name, Clark?
Why, he came to be known as Superman, of course, Lois.
Naturally.
Clark, how do you know all this?
Why, you might say I'm in Superman's confidence, Lois.
It's a great story for our Sunday magazine section. Oh, by the way, what happened to the farmer and his wife, Kent?
They both died a few years ago.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, go ahead, Kent.
Well, as we know, Superman has been of invaluable help to us. Time and again, he saved us from injury and, well, even death.
You can say that again.
Therefore, anything that may place him in danger is our concern.
Place Superman in danger? Are you kidding?
Unfortunately, I'm not, Lois.
Well, now, listen.
That piece of kryptonite you mentioned is Superman's deadliest enemy.
Eh?
What did you say?
I said that piece of kryptonite is Superman's deadliest enemy. If he comes within 10 feet of it, he loses all his strength and power.
Who told you that fantastic story?
Kent, are you out of your mind?
All right, I don't blame either one of you for doubting me. But unfortunately, my only witness, Dr. Whistler, is dead. He alone could tell you that, due to some unexplained chemical or physical action, that the piece of kryptonite, when placed in the Earth's atmosphere, robbed Superman of his strength.
You mean that Dr. Whistler tested it on Superman?
Yes. That's why he sealed the meteor in his private vault at the museum.
Well, now...
We were at war then, and Superman was too valuable to run the risk of placing him in danger. Well, now you know why I turned pale when I read about Whistler's sudden death. I could just see that vault being opened by those who had no knowledge of the meteor's power. And I could see it falling into the hands of Superman's enemies. That's what shocked me, and it still does.
You shouldn't wonder.
Clark, you're not making this up, are you?
Hardly, Lois. As a matter of fact, the only reason I'm telling you the story is because I need your help to destroy that piece of kryptonite forever. If it's not destroyed, Superman may be destroyed.
Well, there's only one answer to that. We'll get the museum and authorities to give the meteor up, take it out into the middle of the ocean, and dump it.
If that could be done, Chief, we'll have repaid our debt to Superman.
Why not? I've got some influence in this city. Matter of fact, I'm on the board of directors of the museum. I'll call the chairman first thing in the morning.
Well, that'd be wonderful, Chief. What's the matter, Lois? Still don't believe what I've told you?
Oh, yes, I believe it, all right. I was just thinking about some work I have to do at the office, Clark. I'd better run along. You could use some sleep anyway.
Oh, no, I'm fine now. Gee, I'm completely relieved.
Well, I'd better be going anyway. You coming, Chief?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, I'll open the door for you.
Now, Lois is right, Kent. You could use a good night's sleep.
Yes, I guess so. I'll be getting right into bed. Well, thanks a lot for coming over.
Yeah, forget it. Well, good night.
Good night, Chief. Hi, Lois.
Good night, Clark.
Vastly relieved and almost a little proud of himself for having been able to tell Lois and Perry White the story without revealing that he is Superman, Clark Kent turns out the living room lights, steps into the bedroom, and is shortly asleep. Hours go by, and a clock on a church steeple not far distant is striking midnight when he is awakened by a raucous voice in the street below.
What's that? Superman in danger. Great Scott, what's he talking about? Up with this window. Here's Boy. Boy, what paper are you selling? Good Lord. No, never mind. Thank you. Daily Planet. So that's why Lois said she had to get back to the office. She wanted to catch the last edition with a story. Oh, the fool, the stupid little fool. Doesn't she realize what she's done? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she didn't print the facts. That's it. I'll call her at home. What's her number? Oh, yes, I know. Oh, this is terrible. Simply terrible.
Hello?
Hello, Lois.
Yes?
Clark Kent.
Oh, I thought you were going to bed.
Well, I did, but I was awakened by a newsboy shouting an extra. Lois, you didn't print the story I told you, did you?
Of course I did. It's sensational.
Oh,
The
Lois.
news is still running.
But I told you not to let the story go any further, especially the fact that the kryptonite is in the museum vault.
I know, but I talked it over with Mr. White, and we decided it was too good to miss.
Too good.
Particularly since he's going to get that meteor out of the museum the first thing in the morning, and no harm can possibly be done.
Don't you realize?
Now go back to sleep and forget about
You
it.
shouldn't have done it, Lois. It was a mistake, a terrible mistake.
I don't think so. It's selling a lot of newspapers, and that's what counts.
That's not what...
Nothing's going to happen, so don't worry.
But...
Good night, Clark.
Good night, Lois.
Returning the telephone receiver to its hook, Clark Kent stares off into space for long moments, hoping against hope that Lois is right, that nothing will happen. But something does. We'll return in a moment to find out what it is, and to meet for the first time the most dangerous woman in the world. But first, we have something else important to tell you.
Well, still listening, Pep Gang? Why, that's just fine, because here's more news about that wonderful real sundial wristwatch. What a honey this sundial wristwatch is, in bright aluminum with a smart strap that keeps it flat on your wrist. Now, it's about as big around as the usual wristwatch, and when you're all set to use it, you merely lift the shadow hand or pointer and aim it due north, being careful to keep the instrument level. The sun casts the shadow of the pointer on the dial, showing the hour of the day. It's a barrel of fun, gang, as well as something really worth having when you're out in the sun, away from any clock, say on a scout patrol or in the country. I'm sure that you know that sundials have been used for telling time since ancient days when men still believed in witches and ghosts. And this one is a modern, streamlined version. Here's how you can get one. Just send in 2 box tops marked top from packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, along with 10 cents in cash, and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Don't delay. Send for your sundial wristwatch tonight so that you'll get it that much sooner.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Our scene is the sumptuous living room of a penthouse suite in one of the most exclusive apartment buildings in Metropolis. A thin, gaunt woman dressed in scarlet is seated on a dark velvet couch. On either side of her, their bulging green eyes reflecting the light from a floor lamp, is a coal-black Persian cat. The woman is known only as the Scarlet Widow, and at the moment she is reading Lois Lane's story in the late edition of the Daily Planet. Her long, bony fingers are caressing the paper as though the story had pleased her. The ghost of a smile plays about her bluish lips, and spots of color highlight her sunken parchment-like cheeks. Suddenly she looks up. The short, weasel-faced man standing in front of her smiles.
Interesting story, ain't it, Widow?
Yes, Snickers. Very interesting.
Lord blimey, wouldn't we have a rum go of it if we only had this Superman bloke under our thumbs, eh?
No reason why we can't, provided this story is true.
Oh, it's true, all right. There ain't nothing printed in the American papers what ain't true.
Your faith in things American sometimes turns my stomach, Snickers. Don't be a fool. Americans are trickier than any other people.
I wouldn't say that, Widow.
Well, I would, and I know them better than you do. I was born here. I've lived with them. Now I've come back to turn them over to the enemy. Funny, isn't it? You an Englishman and I an American, working for what is left of the enemy. A handful of Japs and Germans, still in hiding, waiting, planning.
I ain't working for nothing but money and plenty of it. Or just as soon cut the king's throat as Hirohito's for a prize.
Beautiful sentiments, Snickers, simply beautiful. But we're not cutting any throats. That's far too crude. The Scarlet Widow works with her mind, not her muscle.
Ain't that the truth?
Now, listen to me. You were perfectly right a moment ago when you said we'd have a rum go of it if we could get this Superman person under our thumb. Well, that's our goal, Snickers. And the first step is to lay our hands on the meteor mentioned in this story.
How do we go about it?
You're the best safecracker and lockpicker on the continent, bar none, aren't you?
According to Scotland Yard, I am.
Then a simple little museum vault should offer you no obstacle. It's now 10 minutes after midnight. By dawn, that meteor should be in our possession. Think you can do it?
If I can't with her, there ain't nobody what can.
Stroking her two sleek pets, the Scarlet Widow smiles understanding. For a moment, her gray-green eyes resemble those of her cats. Then she nods.
I believe you're right, Snickers. If you can't, nobody can. I'm going to let you try it tonight.
And so, Clark Kent's fear that an enemy of Superman would come into possession of the one thing on Earth capable of rendering the Man of Steel harmless is about to be realized. What will happen? Will the Scarlet Widow get the piece of kryptonite? If she does, then what? Don't miss a word of tomorrow's tense, exciting episode. Superman is fighting for his very life, so join with him as he battles against the most dangerous woman in the world, the Scarlet Widow. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, and follow the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today, as we know, the Man of Steel is in imminent danger. For the Scarlet Widow is making plans to secure the one great threat to his strength, the fragment of the planet Krypton. For the first time in all his existence, Superman knows the meaning of fear. When a fragment of the planet Krypton, birthplace of the Man of Steel, came to Earth as a flaming meteor, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, learned to his horror that the green glowing piece of kryptonite in the Earth's atmosphere robbed him of his supernatural strength and powers, made him a weakling. Unable to venture close enough to the kryptonite to destroy it, he influenced a meteorologist at the Metropolis Museum to place it in a sealed vault. But now that man is dead. Kent fears that the only weapon on Earth capable of destroying him may fall into the hands of his enemies. Strangely enough, he is right. For even now, a woman known as the Scarlet Widow is making plans to gain possession of the deadly weapon. It is shortly after midnight. We find Superman in his guise of Kent at the home of Inspector Henderson, chief of the Metropolis Police Department. Listen.
I'm sorry to have had to drag you out of bed, Inspector, but the matter is urgent.
Well, whatever it is, I'm sure it could have waited until morning, Kent.
No, I'm afraid it can't. Here, read this.
Read what?
The story under the headline, Superman in Danger.
Hey, what is this, a gag?
No, it isn't. The story ran in yesterday's late edition of The Planet. Lois Lane wrote it.
See. Great and powerful Superman is in great danger of his master. Right today that a fragment of kryptonite capable of robbing Superman of all strength and power is reposing in a sealed vault at the Metropolis Museum. Hey, what sort of nonsense is this, Kent?
It's on the level, Inspector. There isn't time to go into detail. Lois had no business running the story, and well, what I'm afraid of now is that someone may try to get possession of that piece of kryptonite, and I want you to have it guarded.
Oh, go on back home, Kent, and take a cold shower.
No,
Do
wait.
you a world of good.
This is serious, Inspector, more serious than you realize. And every moment we waste is precious. Now, all I ask is that you authorize sending 50 men to guard the museum until morning. Now, is that asking too much when I tell you a great deal is at stake?
You know, I really think you're serious.
Of course I'm serious. It's a matter of life and death. Superman's life and death.
All right, Kent. You win. I'll call headquarters and okay it.
Good. I'll get the number for you.
Don't bother. I've got a direct line on this phone. Connect me with Sergeant Mulrooney. I want you to understand, Kent, that I'm doing this on your word. If, by any chance, this is a gag or a practical joke, I'll see that you spend the rest of your life in the city jail on bread and water and
But
don't
even as
forget it.
Inspector Henderson puts through the call that will throw a police guard around the Metropolis Museum, the fear in Clark Kent's mind is taking shape and form as a small sedan moves quietly through the dark streets of the city en route to the museum. At the wheel is a nondescript character in a checked cap. But in the rear seat, well hidden save at intervals, when the yellow light of a street lamp flashes through the windows, are a strange couple. One of them is a woman, tall and thin and gaunt, garbed in scarlet. The other is a little sniveling cockney. The woman is known throughout the world as the Scarlet Widow. The little cockney's name is Sniggers. For long moments they are both silent. Then the woman speaks.
You told the driver exactly how to approach the museum, I hope, Sniggers.
I even drew him a map, I did.
Good. Then it should be smooth sailing. We'll circle the museum once to make sure the coast is clear. Then we'll drop you and wait for you on the southeast corner of 10th Street.
Righto.
Shouldn't take you very long.
The crack in the vault ain't going to take no time at all. It's finding it what's going to take the time.
Vaults are usually in the basement of a building. And remember, don't let the piece of kryptonite frighten you when you get the vault open. According to that story in the paper, it glows with an eerie, greenish light.
Oh, you can rest easy with her. It's as good as in your hands right now, it is.
The museum's on the next block. Look sharp, Sniggers.
Lord blimey, hold up, Benny.
What's the matter, Sniggers?
Look, they got the museum surrounded.
Police. Hundreds of them.
No, there ain't that many, but there's enough. I ain't getting in there tonight, and that's a fact.
Not so sure. You get out and get as close to the museum as possible without being seen. Tell the driver to shut the motor off.
Shut it off, Benny. Now, what's on your mind with her?
Got to get into that museum tonight, Sniggers. Police or no police. It's quite evident the thing we want won't be there tomorrow.
Simon's right enough, but how do we do it?
There's only one way. We'll lure some of those policemen away from the building. You'll have to slip through at the right moment.
How do we lure them? And how do I get out once I'm in?
Getting out will be a problem for you to solve. You're slippery enough to manage it. We'll lure them away from the building by setting this car on fire.
Lord blimey.
We've got to work fast. You get going. Driver and I will take care of the car. The moment those policemen see it go up in flames, some of them will run over. That's when you get into the building.
It ain't going to be easy with her.
Nothing important is easy. Remember that. I'll be waiting at the apartment for you. Get going.
Righto.
Goodbye and good luck.
I'll be seeing you, I hopes.
Slipping into the darkness, little Cockney moves silently along a tree-bordered street, creeping closer and closer to the huge granite museum building, where, standing on the steps of the main entrance, is Clark Kent, conversing with Police Sergeant Mulrooney.
Chances are nothing will happen, Sergeant, but we just want to make certain.
Sure, and it's like me old lady Bridget's always after saying. A pound of prevention, she says, is worth an ounce of cure. Or is it the other way around?
Well, either way will do. I imagine it'll be safe enough to send the men back to headquarters at dawn. I'm really sorry we had to bring them out, but it just couldn't be helped.
What are we after guarding, Mr. Kent?
Nothing of any real value, Sergeant, except that it
Hey.
has the...
What's that on the next block?
Looks like a fire.
It ain't nothing else but an automobile. Adams, Clancy, O'Brien, get over there and see what's doing.
Okay, yes, sir.
Donovan, get to a firebox and ring an alarm on the double.
Say, Sergeant, maybe I can help.
Go ahead if you wish. I'll stay here and keep an eye on things.
I'll be right back.
Unsuspecting, Clark Kent hurries in the direction of the burning car, his only thought that his help may be needed in rescuing whomever may be trapped in the fire. But no sooner is he out of sight than a shadowy figure slips into the place vacated by the absent policeman, and, hugging the museum wall, moves along silently on cat-like feet until he reaches the delivery entrance to the building. There, a single officer is on guard. Stealing up behind him, Cockney Sniggers presses the sharp point of a knife into the small of the policeman's back.
Hey, what the? Don't you move, you're a dead un. Knife's just long enough to reach your heart, and I knows how to get it there. Now keep your hands down at your sides. Back slowly toward the door. Now, not a peep now. All right, hold up. I've got to get this here door open. Now keep your lips buttoned. This key ought to do it. Ain't no lock, it don't open. Now, hold still, copper. Don't try nothing. Let's see. There, does it. It's all right, she's open. Step inside, copper. We're taking a little tour of the museum, you and me, for education purposes, you might say.
With a steel blade pressed against his back, the helpless policeman can only follow instructions. Stepping into the delivery corridor, hears the door close behind him. The Scarlet Widow has struck, and one strand of the deadly web she is weaving for Superman has been spun. Will Sniggers find the piece of kryptonite? We'll return in a moment with more tense excitement. But first,
Yes, Pep Gang, more exciting news about that new Kellogg's Pep sundial wristwatch with a regular strap for your wrist. And news about how you can get one, too. You see, this swell instrument is just the thing you've been waiting for some real sport. You let nature and the sun help you tell time. And it's really easy. You just aim the pointer on the sundial wristwatch due north. The sun casts the pointer's shadow on the dial, showing the hour of the day. And you can read off the hour quick as a flash. What a grand time you and the rest of the gang can have with this shiny aluminum wrist piece. Now, here's how you get it. Send in 2 box tops marked top from packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, along with 10 cents in cash and your name and full address, clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Send in today.
and now back to the adventures of Superman. The Scarlet Widow's flaming automobile is now a mass of water-soaked junk on the street. The fire engines have left the scene. Clark Kent, back on the museum steps with Sergeant Mulrooney, unaware that Sniggers has gained entrance to the building, is strangely puzzled.
That car was empty. No sign of a driver.
It might have been a stolen car, and when it took fire, the feller beat it.
Possible, but I don't know. I just got a funny feeling there's more to it than that.
What do you mean?
Everything was all right back here, wasn't it?
Yeah, quiet as a church mouse.
I guess I'm wrong, then. I just had the feeling that...
Excuse me, Sergeant.
Yes, what is it, Mike?
You didn't see Halloran around, did you?
Halloran? No, the last I saw of him, he was over at the side of the building at the delivery entrance.
Well, he's not there now. We've only got 49 men.
What are you talking about?
Sergeant,
Yes, Kent?
someone got into the museum and took Halloran with him. And, great Scott, he's got the kryptonite.
Startled, Police Sergeant stares at Clark Kent in evident disbelief. But Kent is right, for even as he speaks, the X-ray eyes of Superman have pierced the granite walls of the building and are watching Sniggers, the Cockney, lift the jagged, green-glowing piece of kryptonite from a jimmied vault in the basement. Now only the guns of the police can stop the Scarlet Widow's emissary, for Superman is helpless. What will happen? Tomorrow's episode is the most exciting you've ever heard, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station for The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today, as Clark Kent, he hopes to find some way of preventing the Scarlet Widow's henchmen from removing the fragment of kryptonite from the museum vault. When Dr. Whistler, chief meteorologist at the Metropolis Museum, suddenly died, Superman feared that a piece of kryptonite locked in the museum's vault might fall into the hands of his enemies. The kryptonite was a fragment of the former planet on which Superman had been born, and it had the strange power to rob the Man of Steel of all his strength when he approached within 10 feet of it. That Superman's fears were well-founded, we learned when we met a woman known only as the Scarlet Widow. In an attempt to gain possession of the kryptonite, the widow arranged it so that her Cockney assistant, Sniggers, got through a cordon of police surrounding the museum and forced one of the officers to lead him into the museum basement at knife point. Kent, who had been lured from the entrance of the building, returned to find the policeman missing. Instantly, the X-ray vision of Superman penetrated into the basement. As Clark Kent, he gave Sergeant Mulrooney the answer.
Somebody got into the museum and took Halloran with him. He's in the basement now, at the vault. He's a little fellow, and Halloran is sitting in a chair, handcuffed.
In the basement of the museum?
Yes, the little fellow's trying to open the vault. He's after the kryptonite. Come on, Sergeant. He went in the side entrance.
Yeah, and how would you be knowing all this?
Never mind. Come on. Take my word for it. I know what I'm talking about.
That I doubt, meaning no offense.
I'll prove it to you. Come on. Around to the side entrance.
Nathan, why would a man be after breaking into a museum in the dead of night? Answer me that one, Mr. Kent.
Because there's something valuable in there. All right. Here's the door.
Is there a bell that we can ring for the watchman?
The door's unlocked.
Now, I'm convinced that you're... Saints alive, it is unlocked. Now, how could that be?
The thief went in this way. Come on.
Nathan, would you look at this place? Dark as a graveyard. And them white statues standing there like ghosts. Wait till I get me flashlight working. Now to find the watchman.
Never mind him. We've got to get downstairs before the thief gets away with the kryptonite. This way.
Kryptonite? Oh, so that's what it is it?
Yes.
You believe that wild yarn in the papers about a piece of a meteor that can knock out a Superman, huh? Now, that ain't a funny one.
It's not at all funny, Sergeant.
It's malarkey, that's what it is.
No, it isn't.
Look now, is that why the inspector put us to guard this place tonight?
Yes, and it's a lot
Don't
more...
move or they shoot.
What the?
Somebody's behind us.
Don't move. They got the gun. What you fellas do here? How you get in? Oh, the police.
Yeah, police. Who are you?
Svensson, I am watchman. How you coming here?
Stop pointing that gun at us. We got in through the delivery door that you forgot to lock.
Hey, no, forget. Hey, look, and they check every hour.
There, you see, Sergeant? Somebody did get in here, and he's in the basement now. Come on, and keep your voices down.
Someone else is here.
Yes, down at the vault. Come on, Sergeant.
You'd better come along, too, Swenson.
Yeah, hey, come.
Quiet.
You know, you may be right at that, Kent. If the watchman's sure he locked that door.
Yeah, sure.
Quiet.
Someone must have stuck a gun in Halloran's back and forced him inside.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, only it wasn't a gun. It was a knife.
Yeah. How would you be knowing that?
Nobody could come in here.
Great Scott. He's got it.
Who's got what?
Why you stop?
I saw the stairs just ahead. Come on, let's go. Hurry.
Now. Take it easy, Kent.
How'd you like that, Hopper?
Listen.
I got the new revolver and he's his pie.
Kent.
Jumping. Is some fella involved?
Quiet, Svensson. Come on. Let's sneak in closer.
This must be the box that we don't want. He's like Leonard, though.
Hold it, Kent.
You a rum-looking policeman, though. Sitting there with your own big handcuffs on.
He's got Halloran, all right. They're in that room right ahead. You see his flash going on and off?
Yes, I see it.
That is Paul.
I wonder if she could have been fooled about what's in this here box.
Now, look, Swenson. When we get to the door of that room, you and I'll shine our flashlights inside. But if there's any shooting to be done, let me do it. You understand?
Yeah, they know.
All right, come on, Kent.
Okay.
Mind, walk quiet.
Oh, I know she wouldn't fool me, but he won't hurt nobody if I takes a little peek, will he?
Wait, Sergeant.
What? What are you stopping for, Kent?
I can't go any further.
What's this here? It glows green, it does. Just like she said. Guns like a blooming dynamo.
What's the matter, Kent? Are you scared?
Yes. I mean, no. Not of the man.
All right, you stay here if you're scared. Come on, Swenson.
Yeah, hey, come.
No, don't. You'll endanger Halloran.
Go my arm, Kent.
Oh, quiet.
Who's that? Oh,
Shut up,
You
you fool.
step on me, dog.
Shut up. All right, now. Come on, boys.
No, you don't. You take one step and I'll cut this Bobby's heart out, I will.
Hold it. Hey, listen, you.
Now, you listen to me. I'm standing right behind your pal with me knife in his back, see? You take one step and I'll push him through his heart.
Jumping, Yemeni.
You better not. We've got this museum surrounded. You ain't got a chance to get away.
Oh, yes, I have. Me and this Bobby's going to walk out of this here museum, and you and them blokes outside is going to let us. As your pal is indebted.
Why, you...
Come back, Sergeant. You've got to do as he says.
Are you crazy too, Kent?
No.
Let him walk out with Halloran and whatever he stole out of the vault.
Listen, your duty is to save Halloran's life. This fellow will let him go as soon as he thinks he has a safe start on us. Besides, I know where he's going.
This knife is just hitching in the hand. What's it going to be?
Say you know where he's going, Kent?
Why, I promise I'll get back whatever he stole. I'll take full responsibility with Inspector Henderson, too. Go on, tell him you'll do it, Sergeant. Tell him.
Well, okay, Kent. But you'll have to answer to the inspector like you say.
I will.
All right, then. We'll let you out, you low-livered skunk. But if you so much as harm one hair of Halloran's head, it'll be too bad for you.
I thought you'd do it my way. Listen, then. Turn around and walk back upstairs. We'll be right behind you. Me with this knife in the Bobby's back. Now start walking.
Come on, Kent. You too, Swenson.
Up on your feet and walk, Bobby. When you get to the museum entrance, you'll say to your police blokes to let us through, see? And no tricks if you want to see your pal alive again.
Followed by the wary Sniggers and his police hostage, Clark Kent, Sergeant Mulrooney, and Svensson moved through the dark museum to the side entrance. Does Kent really intend to allow Sniggers to escape with the kryptonite? We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode.
Say, gang, this is the last chance I'll have this week to tell you about the wonderful Kellogg's Pep offer that's going on right now. It's a modern, up-to-date sundial wristwatch that enables you to tell time by the sun easily and quickly. And what a beautiful instrument this all-aluminum timepiece is. Now, it's about as big around as the usual wristwatch with a regular strap that holds it snug and flat on your wrist. When you're ready to use it, just lift the shadow hand or pointer and aim it due north. The sun's rays will make the shadow of the pointer fall on the dial, showing the hour of the day. You'll want to wear this watch whenever you're out of doors on hikes or when you're playing secret games with a gang. You can set a time for meeting like meet me when the shadow falls at 5. Boy, what a lot of fun you and the rest of the kids will have with this sundial wristwatch. Yes, sir, you'll get a great kick out of it. And you can get one easily, gang. Here's how. Just send in 2 box tops marked top from packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep, along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Be the first in your neighborhood to own a modern sundial wristwatch.
Now, back to the adventures of Superman. Persuaded by Clark Kent, Sergeant Mulrooney has permitted Sniggers to leave the museum and pass safely through the police guard. Carrying the lead box containing the kryptonite, and with his knife threatening a handcuffed policeman, Sniggers proceeded 6 blocks up a dark street, where he ordered Halloran to return to the museum. Then the little cockney took to his heels. Meanwhile, Kent has slipped away from the sergeant and resumed his true identity of Superman, and is now hovering high above the fleeing Sniggers.
There he goes. He's got the kryptonite. Got to take him by surprise. Grab the box before he sees me. Before he can open it. Mustn't scare him or he might drop it. Down behind him, slowly. Slowly. He mustn't hear me. Slower still. Easy. Almost got him now. He hasn't heard me yet. He just doesn't turn around.
Hey, what was
He
that?
heard me. He sees me. Down to him. Down. There. I got you now. I want that box. Come on, give it to me. Oh, dropped it. The kryptonite rolled out.
You jumped out of the sky, you did. I seen you. I know you are. You're Superman.
The kryptonite. Put it back in the lead box. Hurry. I can't stand
Oh, look at you. Staggering like a drunk you are.
the kryptonite. Put it back.
Put it back, nothing. The winter was right.
Please.
This here stuff knocks you out, it does. Law ain't your sight.
Oh.
Line. Now, will you look at that? Passed out cold, he did. My eye, that was another squeak. Here, better get this thing back in the box and get out of here quick. There we are. Now, wait a minute, Sniggers, me lad. Why don't we take this here Superman to the widow, too? See, now, won't the widow like that? Superman and the stuff to finish him off, too. I'll drag him to the street. Find a taxi cab. My drag friend coming from a masquerade party, I'll say. Sniggers, you got a knob on you. The widow's going to be mighty pleased and generous with the pound note she is. Come on. Come on, Mr. Superman, your Royal Highness.
Chortling with glee, the little cockney drags the inert Superman through the dark street. The Man of Steel's eyes are closed. His head rests on his chest. His red cape trails in the gutter like a broken wing. What will happen? Is this the end of the once mighty Superman? Don't miss Monday's dramatic episode, fellows and girls. Tune in, same time, same station for The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today, with the Man of Steel robbed of all consciousness by the glowing fragment of the planet Krypton, the little Cockney Sniggers is planning a startling surprise for the Scarlet Widow. The one thing in the world which Superman fears, a piece of green glowing kryptonite from the shattered planet on which he was born, and which has the power to rob him of all his great strength, has been stolen from its vault in the Metropolis Museum. Superman followed the thief, a little Cockney named Sniggers. But when he seized him on a nearby street, Sniggers dropped the lead box containing the kryptonite. The box sprang open, and the strange rays emanating from within overpowered the Man of Steel. Delighted with his good fortune, Sniggers seized the limp, unconscious Superman by the collar. And as we continue now, he is dragging him through a dark street, intent on finding a taxicab and taking Superman and the kryptonite to his employer, the dangerous woman known as the Scarlet Widow. Listen.
Lord blimey. This here Superman is heavy, he is. If I could only get him to the corner and find a hack, I'll tell the driver my friend in the fancy costume took a nip too many at a masquerade party, he did. Well, the widow will be glad to see him, eh? Him and the green shining stuff in this here box. Sniggers, she'll say, there's £100 for you. £100, nothing. This night's work is worth £1,000, it is. Here, now, who's coming? It's a blooming policeman. Curse the luck, I can't let him find me. He know what happened at the museum tonight. He might even be looking for me now. I'll have to leave Superman here and up it through this alley. The widow'll have to be satisfied with this here box she sent me for. Toodaloo, Mr. Superman. I'll be seeing you again, I will.
Leaving Superman sprawled across the dark sidewalk, the little Cockney darts into an alley, the box of kryptonite clutched tightly under his arm, as a blue-coated policeman patrolling his beat spies the inert Man of Steel and quickens his steps.
Yes, what's this? Sorry me. And would you look at the outlandish clothes on him? Breathe. There don't seem to be nothing wrong with him. Drunk he must be from some fancy ball or masquerade party. Come on now, wake up. Wake up, I say. You won't? Well, then my club to the soles of your feet will make you. Oh, you're coming too, are you?
Oh. What? Where?
What is where, indeed? Do you think this sidewalk is a featherbed?
Huh? Sidewalk. Why? Where am I?
Are you asking me now?
Oh.
Told you's a fine thing, a young gentleman like yourself getting drunk and passing out in the street.
What? I'm not drunk. Oh, wait a minute. I remember. Oh, I'm still dizzy.
Here now, don't be falling down again.
No, I'm all right. Officer, where did the little man go?
Oh, well, little man, is he?
Yes. He speaks with a Cockney accent. Where is he?
Surely he must have flown away with the pink elephant and the purple cow.
Oh, I'm serious.
Now listen to me, lad.
I tell you, a little Englishman was here. He had a lead box with the piece of kryptonite. He stole it from the Metropolis Museum. We've got to find him, officer, and get it back.
Now, you listen to me, young fella, and take yourself off to bed.
No, you
I
listen.
don't want to have to run you in.
Good heavens, how can I make you understand? I still feel weak. I don't know if I can get off the ground.
Off the ground? I've heard enough. And patient as a saint I've been. I'm giving you fair warning, me lad.
Now, look.
If you're not gone from here before I reach the patrol box, I'll be calling the wagon for you, and you'll sleep the night in the cell.
Now, wait a minute.
Now be gone.
But, officer.
On your way. It's a shame of yourself.
Oh, I won't believe it. Got to go after that kryptonite myself. Got to find that little thief. I must. Now, museum is behind me. I know he didn't go that way, so I look in this direction. Up! And away!
Leaping into a starry sky, Superman streaks above the quiet, night-filled streets, searching desperately for Sniggers. Almost the length of Metropolis he ranges, and then back and then from west to east and back again, calling on his powerful muscles for speed and yet more speed. But the little Cockney and the kryptonite have disappeared. Then, finally, as the first crimson fingers of dawn pluck at the gray curtain of the horizon, the man of steel admits defeat, and his heart, filled with a fear such as he has never known before, turns toward police headquarters to seek aid. Meanwhile, in a magnificent, ornately furnished penthouse apartment atop one of the city's most exclusive residence buildings, the ominous thing which Superman fears is swiftly taking shape. On a white velvet sofa sits a tall, gaunt, ugly woman clothed in a flaming scarlet gown. Her hands, long and withered, the nails gleaming scarlet, stroke two black tailless cats which crouch on either side of her, their eyes fixed on a square leaden box which rests on a graceful pedestal of marble. The woman's small, piercing black eyes are fixed hungrily, gloatingly on the same box. Now she, the Scarlet Widow, known as the most dangerous woman in the world, speaks to Sniggers, the Cockney, who stands at the pedestal, an eager look on his sly, ferret-like face.
Take the kryptonite from its box, Sniggers. I wish to see it and hear it.
Lord blimey, Widow. How many times have you got to see it? It ain't changed now.
I love to see it. More than that, I love to hear the sound it makes. Sound of power.
Well, I don't. But everyone to his own taste, I says.
Take it from its box. Set it on the pedestal.
Well, I'll get me gloves on. This stuff burns, it does. No, I don't understand you, Widow.
You'll understand when the money blows in.
Oh, it will, eh? I suppose it'll blow in that there window, will it? What I wants to know
See
is...
how beautifully it glows. Hear the lovely sound it makes. Like beautiful music.
Music? Ain't like no music I ever heard. Now, look here, Widow. I risked me life for this blooming stuff tonight, I did. What I wants to know is, what's it worth?
Enough for both of us, Sniggers.
How? Where's it going to come from?
From that piece of kryptonite.
But how? How? The stuff ain't more valuable than gold, is it?
Much more valuable than gold, Sniggers. Because of what it can do to Superman.
On account of it can knock him out.
Exactly. Put the kryptonite back in its box now. It's disturbing my pet. There.
Well, I don't get it. I don't understand why the stuff's better than gold on account of it can put Superman to sleep.
Perhaps it can put him to sleep forever.
So what? What I want to know is, how's it going to put English pounds into my pocket?
You're a fool, Sniggers.
Eh?
Don't you know that some of the most brilliant and powerful criminals in the world saw their great plans ruined, went to jail, all because of Superman?
Oh, sure, I knows that. Blokes like the Teufel and the Vulture and Papa Rausch and the one they calls the Laugher. I read about him in a magazine.
Exactly. Think what it would mean to such men if Superman were put out of the way forever.
Now, I don't see how it'd mean much to him. They're in jail.
You'll see very shortly, Sniggers.
When?
This very morning. Perhaps at any moment. We'll have some visitors. They'll restore the Scarlet Widow to her former glory. They will bring money.
Money, eh?
A great deal of money. Days of scrimping and schemes to steal a few thousand are over. I'll be able to have everything again. Everything. And their money and my brains and influence will give me power such as even I have never had before.
That listens good to me, Widow. Who's the visitors we're expecting?
They should be here very soon now.
Someone's at the door.
Don't be alarmed, Sniggers.
It might be the Bobbies.
We would have been warned if it were the police. Come.
Come where?
To admit our visitors, of course.
Oh.
They're the ones I told you about. They're very impatient, but not as impatient as I. Come, Sniggers, and prepare yourself for a big surprise.
A gaunt, bony face lit with eagerness. The Scarlet Widow hurries to the door, followed by Sniggers. Who are her mysterious visitors? We'll return in a moment to learn more about them. But first...
Say, gang, suppose you're out on a hike sometime, and you want to know about what time it is, whether you ought to be starting back or not. Well, you can tell the hour of the day by the sun if you've got a modern sundial wristwatch, the kind Kellogg's Pep is putting out. Sure, you just lift the pointer on that shiny aluminum dial and aim it due north. Then see where the sun's rays make the shadow of the pointer fall on the dial, and that's the hour of the day. Mighty handy, isn't it? Mighty smart looking, too. Now, here's the easy way you can get your sundial wristwatch. Ask Mother to get a couple of packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Tear off the 2 box tops, be sure you get the ones marked top, and send them in along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. And remember, this offer will be on for only a short time, so better hop to it. Have Mom get you some pep today so that you can send for your modern sundial wristwatch. Remember the name, it's P-E-P, PEP, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. In her ornately furnished penthouse apartment in Metropolis, where Sniggers has brought the stolen kryptonite, the woman known as the Scarlet Widow was opening the door to her mysterious visitors. 4 men, their coat collars above their chins and their hats pulled low over their eyes, silently enter the apartment. The door closes behind them. One by one, they remove their hats. A faint smile plays about the Scarlet Widow's thin lips as she greets them.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm indeed very happy to see each of you.
Who are the 4 men assembled in the Scarlet Widow's apartment? The little Cockney Sniggers stares at them in frank amazement. As still silent, they file into the drawing room where the deadly piece of kryptonite rests in its lead box on the marble pedestal. Who are they, and what plan has the widow in mind? Fellows and girls, Superman has never been in such peril. So don't miss a word of tomorrow's exciting episode. Tune in, same time, same station, for the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publication. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today there's a big surprise in store as we learn the identity of the 4 visitors to the Scarlet Widow, a fragment of the former planet Krypton on which Superman was born, and which by some strange chemical action renders him weak and helpless when he comes within 10 feet of it, has been stolen from the Metropolis Museum by a henchman of the Scarlet Widow, who is known as the most dangerous woman in the world. While Superman seeks desperately to trace the kryptonite, his 4 deadliest enemies arrive mysteriously at the Scarlet Widow's ornate penthouse apartment. As we continue now, Sniggers, the widow's ferret-faced little henchman, gasps in amazement as the 4 master criminals are about to enter the drawing room. Listen.
Lord blimey, it can't be.
What can't be, Snickers?
These blokes right here in our place. I recognise them from their photographs. This skinny one is the vulture. He's in the death cell at the big house this very minute he is.
If I am, this is the finest death cell I've ever seen.
Thank you, Vulture.
And this one here with the thick glasses, he's the one they calls the devil.
Yeah, I'm the piper, which means the devil.
You hear that, Widder? And this one here, what looks like a school teacher, he's Papa Rouse. And that's this great big and you're the laugher, ain't you?
I'm the laughter, all right.
I'm dreaming, I am. These blokes is all in jail.
You gentlemen will wait in the drawing room. I'll join you in a moment.
Thank you, Widow.
Lord blimey.
Wipe that silly look off your face and listen to me, Snickers.
I'm dreaming, I am. They're all in jail.
You stupid fool, will you stop repeating that? They were in jail, but they're here now. Thanks to me.
You, Widder? You mean you got 'em out?
Of course I did.
But how? How could you?
That's my secret. One of my many secrets.
I don't understand.
Doesn't matter what you understand. We're wasting time. Those 4 men in there mean money to us. A great deal of money, Snickers.
Money? Now you're talking, Widder.
But they're dangerous. And when they find out why they're here, well, they might forget the debt they owe me and become impulsive. You understand?
Right-o.
Now, there's only one way out of this penthouse, our private elevator. I want you to make sure that the Turk and Renee are both in it. and that nobody leaves this apartment unless I personally give permission. Hurry now, and join me in the drawing room.
Right there, Widow. Consider it done.
Now for the greatest coup of my career. Sorry to keep you waiting, gentlemen.
Ah, Widow, you're lovelier than ever. What a magnificent gown.
Thank you, Vulture.
You're even more beautiful than when I saw you last in Berlin before the war.
Still the same flatterer, I see, Papa Rausch.
Vulture, I speak the truth, do I not?
You certainly do. Take this chair, Widow.
Oh, I prefer to sit on this couch with my cat. Come here, my pretty.
Those are beautiful cats, Widow.
Mm-hmm. You have much in common with them, Vulture. And you too, Papa Rausch. You fawn and flatter me, but the moment my back is turned, you unsheath your claws.
That's telling them, Widow. You're a woman after my own heart.
Enough of this byplay. The widow did not risk her skin to bring the four of us here in order to hear compliments. Am I right?
You certainly are, Teufel. I had you brought here to offer you the greatest opportunity of your lives. For a price, of course.
Well, what is it?
Yes,
Tell
what
us.
is it?
You, Vulture. Yesterday at this time, you sat in the death house. Who put you there?
Superman. If not for him, I would have been free. The richest man in the world.
You, Papa Rausch. 2 years ago, you were Germany's #1 espionage agent. You were well on your way to destroying all of America's war plants with your tiny model planes, but somebody stopped you. Who was it?
Superman. No one else could stop me.
Laffer. You controlled practically every big racket in the United States. You were feared from one end of the country to the other as the king of America's gangsters. You seemed beyond the reach of the law.
Until Superman horned in, blast him. I'd still have been the boss of the rackets and rolling in wealth if not for him. I had the organization, the brains, the connection. But Superman was too much for me.
Always.
Gentlemen, please. I take it we are all agreed then that Superman was and is the one insurmountable obstacle in your path.
But Superman still lives, and while he lives, we, clever and powerful as we are helpless, doomed to hide from him like outcast dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Trusty Teufel to hit the bullseye.
Why do you laugh, widow? Is that why you brought us here, to laugh at us?
No. I'll tell you why I brought you here, Teufel. It was to offer each one of you, for a price, the means to conquer Superman.
Conquer
What do you
Superman?
say?
What is this nonsense you speak, widow?
You all know the Scarlet Widow. You should know that she never speaks nonsense.
But what?
I will show you. Sniggers!
What'll it be, Widow?
Remove the kryptonite from its box and place it on the pedestal.
Water, and just get me gloves on first.
Kryptonite. What is that?
Patience, gentlemen.
What's that? A piece of coal?
Coal is not green, Vulture.
Coal doesn't make noise either.
That strange green glow like cold light. And the sound, almost as if the object was radioactive. What is this, widow?
That, my friends, is kryptonite. A fragment of the planet Krypton, on which Superman was born.
Kryptonite? What's that?
When Superman comes within 10 feet of this piece of kryptonite, he loses all his strength and becomes helpless.
Superman helpless?
It's true. I seen it knock him out myself. I did with my own eyes.
Ridiculous.
I don't believe it.
That's a
Gentlemen,
whopper if I ever heard one.
gentlemen, you forget yourselves. It is I, the Scarlet Widow, who assures you that what Snickers has just told you is the truth.
Can you prove this, widow?
Yes, but let me finish. I propose to cut the kryptonite into 4 equal pieces and sell them to each of you gentlemen for $1 million each.
What?
For $1 million, each of you may become the master of Superman.
Himmel, if what you say is true,
It's
widow.
true.
That's what you say, widow. I'm not doubting your word, see? But $1 million ain't hay. Because if you can prove what you say, I'll dig up $1 million quicker than you can wink.
Yes, and I.
I do not have that much money, but I will secure it.
How about you, Teufel?
Prove what you say, widow. And money is no object.
Good. I'll prove it.
How you going to do it, Widow?
Leave it to me, Sniggers. Step over to the desk. Gentlemen, your dreams and mine are about to come true.
What is the Scarlet Widow's scheme? We'll return in a moment to find out. But first,
Say, gang, I hope you got a pencil handy so that you can jot this down, because I want to tell you again how to get your streamlined sundial wristwatch from Kellogg's Pep. First, ask Mom to get you a couple of packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Tear off the 2 box tops, be sure they're the ones marked top, and send them in along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed. Send them to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Get your modern sundial wristwatch from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. More than 24 hours have elapsed since the kryptonite was stolen from the Metropolis Museum by Sniggers, the Scarlet Widow's Cockney henchman. Unable to trace Sniggers, and alarmed by the reported jailbreaks of De Teufel, the Laugher, Papa Rausch, and the Vulture, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, is in the office of Captain Donovan, Assistant Chief of Police.
This is terrible, Captain Donovan. If any one of those 4 criminals get hold of the kryptonite, I don't even want to think of what might happen.
Will you forget that silly kryptonite, Kent?
Forget it. You don't seem to understand. Until that kryptonite is recovered and destroyed, I'm in danger of my life.
You're in danger.
I mean Superman, of course.
Superman in danger of his life. Are you out of your mind?
If you just listen to me and believe me, I got a hunch that the escapes of Der Teufel, the Laugher, Papa Rausch, and the Vulture are tied up with the theft of that kryptonite.
Now I know you're crazy.
But if you...
Look, Kent, I've been patient as long as I could because you and your paper have helped the department in the past. But the 4 greatest criminals in the country have broken out of jail, heaven knows how, and I can't waste any more time listening to fairy tales about some old meteor that can finish off Superman.
It's no fairy tale.
I say it is.
What?
Excuse me, that's my phone. Hello?
Is Clark Kent there, please?
Kent, just a minute.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
Kent, this is Burroughs at the office.
Oh, yes, Burroughs.
Look, you're working on the kryptonite story, aren't you?
I certainly am. What have you
got? A
got?
funny thing happened a couple of hours ago, and it's just been brought to my attention. An ad was delivered to our classified department by a special messenger. It's signed The Widow, and the $100 bill was attached. She wanted a big 10-inch ad.
Who's the widow?
How do I know? But get this. The ad was addressed to Superman.
Superman?
That's right.
Read it to me, quickly.
Okay, here it is. Superman, if you will appear above the Metropolis Bank spire tonight, exactly at midnight, and look straight east, you will see 3 winking lights, red, white, and blue. Come to the lights within 5 seconds, and you will be given an opportunity to obtain the kryptonite. Follow directions, no tricks. This is your only chance. The Widow. You got it, Kent?
I got it.
I don't hear you laughing.
I'm not laughing. So long. Thanks, Burroughs.
What's up, Kent?
This is it, Captain Donovan.
What are you talking about?
Let's see. It's almost 11 o'clock. In just a little over an hour, Superman will either be back with the kryptonite or
what?
Or he'll never be back again. So long, Captain.
His face grim, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, hurries through the busy station house to keep a mysterious appointment with the Scarlet Widow. An appointment which may mean his death. What will happen? Don't miss tomorrow's thrilling episode, fellows and girls. Tune in, same time, same station, for the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellas and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publication. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, for whom the Scarlet Widow has today set a cunning trap. By a strange chemical action, a piece of the shattered planet Krypton on which Superman was born robs the Man of Steel of all his great strength when he comes within 10 feet of it. A woman called the Scarlet Widow arranged to have the kryptonite stolen from the Metropolis Museum and then assembled Superman's 4 deadliest enemies, the Vulture, Der Teufel, Papa Rausch, and the Laugher, and offered to sell each of them 1/4 of the kryptonite for $1 million. They demanded that the widow prove the power of the kryptonite. She agreed. And as we continue now, on the moonlit terrace of her penthouse apartment, the gaunt, ugly widow, her little henchman Sniggers, and the 4 master criminals wait tensely. Behind them in the almost darkened drawing room, the green, glowing, eerily humming fragment of kryptonite rests on a marble pedestal. Listen.
Oh, what time is it now, Widow?
11:57, Sniggers. In exactly 3 minutes, at midnight, you'll see Superman in the sky to the west, above the Metropolis Bank spire.
Suppose he doesn't show up.
He will, Vulture.
How can you be so sure? The Daily Planet did not publish the advertisement you sent them.
I explained that before, Papa Rausch. The Daily Planet seems to have some sort of contact with Superman, especially a reporter named Clark Kent.
Kent, he's the one what was in the museum with the bobbies last night when I copped the kryptonite.
Yes, I'm sure he saw to it that my advertisement came to the attention of Superman. Just 2 minutes more and we'll know. You've got the red, white, and blue flashlights ready, Sniggers.
Right here, got the 3 of them right here.
As soon as we see him, I give you the word. Flash them one at a time. Then you, Vulture, and Teufel, Papa Rausch, and Laugher, step back into the drawing room and stand near the kryptonite where you'll be safe.
Widow, I just thought of something. Superman is clever as well as amazingly powerful. If he does appear, how are we going to persuade him to come within 10 feet of the kryptonite?
Himmel, I forgot that.
Ah, yeah.
He won't be such a fool.
Don't worry, gentlemen. I, too, thought of that, and I've made the necessary arrangements.
How?
Sniggers and I cut some small fragments from the kryptonite.
Toughen a cutting steel, it was.
We buried them in the flower pots around the room and terrace. The flower pots and plants are green, and the fragments are so tiny that the faint green glow they give off won't be noticed. I hope.
Superman has the eyes of an eagle.
2 eagles.
My instructions said he had to arrive here within 5 seconds after he saw the signal lights, if he wanted to obtain the kryptonite. He'll see the big piece on the pedestal, and us, by the time he notices the tiny particles in the flower pot, if he does. It'll be too late.
Ain't she got her head on her, though?
Yeah, but if it...
What is that?
A church clock striking midnight. Now watch above the Metropolis Bank spire. Straight west there. In a moment you'll see Superman.
Look, there he is.
Yes, I told you he'd come.
Where is he?
All of you, get back near the kryptonite.
Hurry, all of you, get back here, quickly.
Ready with the flashlight, Sniggers. First the red, then the white, then the blue. Hold each one about a second, then repeat.
As the 4 criminals rush into the drawing room, and Sniggers prepares to signal Superman, the Man of Steel hovers above the tall bank spire, his keen eyes searching the east.
I don't see any signal lights. Wait. There's a red light flashing, and a white, and a blue. From that penthouse terrace. Man and a woman there. Ah, the man is the little cockney who stole the kryptonite. It must... Yes, there it is. On a pedestal in the apartment. And those 4 men near it. I thought so. Der Teufel, the Laugher, Papa Rausch, and the Vulture. Now, what... Oh, so that's the little trap they set for me, eh? Tiny particles of kryptonite hidden in those flower pots. They thought I wouldn't see them. Well, I'll just get the police and we... No, I can't let them out of my sight. They said they'd only wait 5 seconds. Uh-oh, here they go back into the house now. What'll I do? I can't lose the kryptonite again, and I can't risk letting Teufel and those others get away. Those tiny pieces of kryptonite might not affect me. They don't glow much. And I'll stay away from the big fragment. Oh, I'm taking a long chance, but I've got to. If I feel myself going weak, I'll get away. All right, here goes then. Down to that terrace. Down! Good evening.
Look, there he is.
Superman.
Well, this seems just like old home week. I'm not surprised to see you here, Teufel, and you others. I suppose you are the woman who signed that advertisement, madam?
Yes, I'm the widow. Come in, Superman.
No, thanks. I'll stay here if you don't mind.
He's afraid of that blooming kryptonite, he is.
You and I have a score to settle later, my little cockney friend, but we'll get to that. All right, widow and gentlemen. What have you got to say now when you see the kryptonite fragments so cleverly hidden in the flower pots don't affect me?
It's the kryptonite. It's getting him.
I've got to get away. Up.
Why don't you fly, Mr. Mr. Superman, eh?
Oh.
What?
Down?
There.
See, he's fainted.
Blimey, just like it happened last night. Out like a light he is.
I cannot believe it. The schweinhund lies like a dead
You were right, Widow. You're wonderful.
Oh, his heart still beats. Vic, help me pull him to the big piece of kryptonite. We keep him there until he dies.
Yeah.
Splendid idea, Teufel. Give us a hand, Laffer.
Wait, stop where you are, all of you.
Why, Widow? We have him now. We will finish him forever.
Yes, and then you won't have to buy the kryptonite, is that it? Very smart, my friends, but it won't work. If you want to destroy Superman, that's your affair. But you'll each have to pay me $1 million for a quarter share of the kryptonite. First.
You're a clever woman, Widow. Much too clever.
Be careful, Vulture. I had you brought from the death house. Just one word from me and you'll go back.
She's right, Vulture. Let's play it her way. It's worth $1 million. With Superman out of the way, the sky is the limit for us. All right, Widow. Divide the kryptonite. I'll pay for my share.
So will I.
All right. I'll pay too.
Good. Sniggers,
Yes.
get the children drilled. Hurry.
Right here with you. $4 million. Sleep tight, Mr. Superman.
Gleefully, Sniggers rushes off to bring tools to divide the kryptonite among Superman's deadliest enemies, while the Man of Steel sprawls motionless at their feet. We'll return in a moment for the exciting climax of today's episode.
Say, gang, it's not only a good idea for you to have a smart sundial wristwatch, the kind Kellogg's Pep is putting out, but all your friends ought to have one, too. Sure, because then you can tell time with the sun and make arrangements to meet. Like I'll see you at the football field when the shadow falls on 4. Or a club meeting will start when the shadow falls at 3. You see, this sundial wristwatch is doggone good looking. There's a shiny aluminum dial about as big around as a regular wristwatch, held flat to your wrist by a smart-looking strap. When you want to tell the hour, you just lift the pointer on the dial and aim it due north. The sun's rays will make the shadow of the pointer fall on the dial, and that's the hour of the day. Now, here's a tip. I won't be telling you about this swell sundial wristwatch much longer, so you better send for yours today. First, ask Mom to get you a couple of packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Tear off the 2 box tops, be sure you get the ones marked top, and send them along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Let me give you that again. Send 2 Kellogg's Pep box tops, the ones marked top, 10 cents in cash, and your full name and address to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Ask Mom for P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. In the Scarlet Widow's penthouse apartment, where Superman lies unconscious on the floor, Sniggers, working with drills and chisels, has finally succeeded in splitting the kryptonite into 4 equal parts. Her small, bright eyes gleaming, the widow turns to her unscrupulous guests.
Now, gentlemen, about the financial arrangements.
I will take my share of the kryptonite now.
Not so fast, Teufel. The terms are cash in hand.
I have no cash in hand. What will this do?
He's got a gun, he has.
Put that gun down, Teufel.
What do you take me for, a fool? Don't make a move now, any of you, or I will shoot to kill.
You haven't a chance, you cheap double-crosser. The only way out of this apartment is by private elevator. My men are guarding it. They'll kill you.
Oh, no, my friend. While all of you watch the kryptonite being cut, I managed to attach a long nylon rope which I brought with me to the terrace railing. I can reach the roof of the building next door by the rope, and I'm going to lock this door to the terrace behind me. By the time you get to the terrace, I will be out of sight. It's dark enough for my purposes. Oh, and I have great purposes in mind. Now I have a piece of the kryptonite. Auf Wiedersehen to you all.
He got away.
Break this door down, somebody!
It is too thick. We
Break it
cannot.
down!
Me at that door. I'll break it.
Hurry, Martha!
Just let me get my life into that bloke.
Look out. There.
Where is he? Where is he?
I don't see him.
There he goes across the roof down there. I've got a gun.
No, don't shoot, Laffer.
Why not?
Are you off your knob with he? Just ran off with $1 million of our money.
We can't have the police here, you fool. Superman's here. Now listen, all of you. Leave your kryptonite here and go after Teufel.
Leave the kryptonite.
No.
What do you say?
You'll do as I say. You all have your gangs. Go to them. Tell them they must find their Teufel. Bring him to me. Then you can have your share of the kryptonite, not before. Now get going, all of you, unless you prefer to return to jail.
Well, I'll find Teufel. Come on, Vulture. Roush.
Go on now. Hurry. Get out. Sniggers,
Yes,
show them to the elevator.
Oh, come on now, gents. Out you go.
Hurry back, Sniggers. We have important matters to attend to. As for you, Superman, I have further plans for you, too.
Wild with rage, the Scarlet Widow glares down at the unconscious figure of Superman. What are her plans for the Man of Steel? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode, fellows and girls. Tune in, same time, same station, and listen to The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the Grand Old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publication. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, against whom the glowing kryptonite has at the moment won victory for his bitterest enemy, the Scarlet Widow. What will she do next? As we know, the Scarlet Widow was in possession of a piece of the shattered planet Krypton, which robs Superman of all his strength when he comes within 10 feet of it. Assembling Superman's 4 deadliest enemies, the Vulture, Papa Rausch, Der Teufel, and the Laugher, the Widow set a trap for Superman by hiding tiny particles of the kryptonite about her apartment. The Man of Steel saw the trap, but pitted himself against it in a desperate attempt to capture the kryptonite and the 4 master criminals. Failing, Superman lost consciousness, and the Widow was about to sell each of the conspirators a quarter of the kryptonite when Der Teufel drew a gun and escaped with his share. Enraged, the Widow sent the others in pursuit of Teufel. And as we continue now, her gaunt, ugly face contorted in fury, the Scarlet Widow glares down at the unconscious figure of Superman. Listen.
Blimey, Widow, but I get the creeps seeing Superman lying there. We better up it before he wakes up.
The particles of kryptonite in the flower pots will keep him unconscious, Sniggers. Oh, what a fool I was letting Teufel cheat me out of $1 million.
The dirty blighter. We got 3 hunks of the blooming kryptonite left, though. And the Vulture and Pepper Rausch and the Laugher will give us $1 million apiece for them.
That's only $3 million. My price was $4.
Now, listen to me, Widow. Take what we can, I says, and let's get away from here fast before this Superman bloke wakes up.
He won't wake up. He'll never wake up.
What do you mean by that, now? The blooming kryptonite knocks him out, it does, but he ain't dead. You can see him breathing. He might wake up any minute, and... Widow, do you hear that? It's Superman, he's coming too. I warned you, Widow. I told you.
Shut up, you fool. Get the 3 big pieces of kryptonite out of the lead box. Hurry.
No, we better skip out.
Will you do as I say? Superman knows us. If he lives, we'll never be safe wherever we go. We've got to finish him now.
We've got to do that. I don't like it. We ought to up it.
The kryptonite, Sniggers, hurry.
No, I am, Widow.
You,
Oh, you fool! What did you do?
My foot. I caught it in the blasted lamp cord, I did.
Nigger, Teufel and the
Get out of the way, you clumsy
Where are
fool.
they?
I'll get the kryptonite.
Superman, he's got up.
There
Look
we
out,
are.
Widow.
You're too late, Widow.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Now, the box is open.
Good, Widow, good.
No, you don't. No. Stop it.
Look at Widow. Running like a drunk again.
Stop it. No,
Look.
Oh.
Like a blooming light here. No, my heart near stopped beating when I see him come for us. Come on, Widow. We better get out
Not
of here.
yet. Put the 3 pieces of kryptonite down here.
What for? I tell
Will
you.
you shut your stupid mouth and do as I say? You almost spoiled things for us once. Mustn't happen again. Get the kryptonite.
Well, I can't understand you, Widow. This is our chance to get away.
I told you before. He'll pursue us wherever we go. We've got to destroy him now, forever.
How do you expect to do that?
We'll put 1 piece of kryptonite close to his head, the other 2 next to his body, near his heart.
Oh.
That ought to finish him.
Say now, it ought to at that. Well, wait now, Widow. If Superman's dead, the Vulture and Pepper Rausch and the Laugher won't buy the kryptonite from
They're
us.
not going to know he's dead, you fool. Put the pieces on the floor.
They won't, no, you say? How won't they?
Leave that to me. Now.
Whoa! Oh, the blooming
Put
stuff.
your gloves on.
Burns.
Hurry.
Yeah, righto.
Then place the pieces the way I show you.
All right.
Put one piece here, next to his head. That's it. Now one piece next to his heart. Here. That's fine. The third piece on the other side of his head.
Right.
There. That should take care of Mr. Superman.
Yeah, I'm a clever one, Widow. How long you suppose it'll take?
Not too long. If only I had Teufel here to deal with at the same time.
Oh, the telephone. Who's that
Maybe
now?
they've caught Teufel. I'll answer it. Hello? Yes, Vultures. Did you?
The vulture, did you get him?
Quiet. Go on, Vulture. You said... Yes? Yes? Did, eh? Sure, he might have. Right. Right, at once. Yes, Gertie. Goodbye. Now, let's see.
What's up with
The
it?
Vulture says they traced Teufel to a drugstore, but he got away. The druggist treated Teufel's hand for a burn.
You must have burned yourself with the
I
kryptonite.
wish he'd burned his hand off. Druggist said he made a phone call, too. The Vulture thinks Teufel might have called the police and tipped them off as to where Superman is.
Whoa.
So that we'd be arrested and Teufel could get away. Give me a hand with his cedar chest, Sniggers.
What for? We got to get out of here before the Bobby shows
And
up.
leave Superman while he's still alive? Help me pull this chest over to him.
Are you daffy, Widow? We can't bother with Superman now.
We must. We can't leave him here alive. Don't just stand there, you fool. Help me.
Righto. But if the Bobby catches us, we get the chair.
They
We will.
won't catch us. I hope. There. There, that's far enough. Now, open the chest.
All right.
Oh, Sniggers.
All right.
All right. Help me get Superman in there. I'll take him under the shoulders. You take his legs.
I don't like it, I tell you. The Bobbies are...
Will you forget the bobbies? Come on. Lift.
Oh, he's heavy. He is. How are we going to get him out of here? The police will be along any minute.
We'll be warned in plenty of time if they come.
Oh.
Chuck and Renee are on the lookout downstairs. There. That does it. Just double up his legs so his head will be lower.
All right.
There. Lid of the chest should close now. No. Wait a minute. Get the chisel. Shave a corner off one of the pieces of kryptonite.
Well, what for?
Will you stop asking questions and do as you're told?
All right.
So Superman won't be lonesome, of course.
I never seen such a woman as you, Widow. We're in danger we are, and you're making jokes.
This is far from a joke, Snickers. We're going to take Superman for a ride.
A ride?
Yes, a one-way ride.
Oh.
And to make sure that even he can't come back from it, we're going to send a piece of kryptonite along with him. Now, hurry, Snickers. Chop a piece off.
You're right, Al.
I'll get Turk up here with the elevator.
Hurrying into the foyer, Scarlet Widow presses the button to summon her private elevator. We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. But first, let's stand by for a friendly tip.
You know, all the gang is so excited with the idea of having a real modern sundial wristwatch that, well, there's a great demand for Kellogg's Pep at the breakfast table, believe me. Of course, all the gang likes that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal because it is super delicious. But boys and girls are making a beeline for those Pep box tops so that they can send in for their sundial wristwatch. And is it a honey? A real shiny aluminum dial held flat to your wrist by a regular strap. You can wear it when you go hiking or to club meetings so that you can tell time with the sun. All you do is to lift the pointer and aim it due north. The sun's rays will make the shadow of the pointer fall on the dial to show you the hour of the day. Isn't that easy? And it's just as easy to get one of these sundial wristwatches. Ask Mom to get you a couple of packages of Kellogg's Pep. Tear off 2 box tops. Be sure you get the ones marked top and send them along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. Now, don't put it off because there's a time limit on this offer. Send in your order today for a modern, streamlined sundial wristwatch. You get it for only 10 cents and 2 box tops from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Loading the cedar chest containing the unconscious Superman into a station wagon, the Scarlet Widow, Sniggers, and 2 brawny henchmen, Turk and Renee, drove through the dark streets of Metropolis to a small cove on the seacoast where a motorboat was moored. Now, as a damp, swirling fog shrouds the moon and stars, Turk steers the motorcraft out to sea. In the middle of the boat sits the widow, her small, bright eyes shining. The shivering little Sniggers sits beside her, and behind them, rocking with the motion of the boat, is the cedar chest.
How far out are we, Turk?
About 2 miles.
That ought to be far enough. Stop the boat.
Okay.
Oh, I hope there's no harbor police out here.
If there are, they can't see us in this fog. Give Turk a hand with the chest, Sniggers.
Oh,
Ready, Turk?
Sure. This job won't be hard. Who's the guy we're feeding to the fish?
None of your business. Help him, Sniggers.
Righto. We ought to put more rocks in the chest with her. Oh, that there cedar wood is like cork, it is.
I want to get this job over with. The chest will stay down long enough for our purposes.
Oh, I sure hope so. I wouldn't like this bloke coming back from no watery grave after me.
Don't worry, he won't. Put your ear to the chest. Can you hear the kryptonite?
Aye, is it? Hums like a blooming hive of bees, it does.
Good. That and the sea will take care of our friend for keeps. All right, boys. Heave him over.
Grab hold there, Sniggers.
Watch out.
Easy, does it?
Yeah.
Just get her up a bit higher. Watch it, you sap. You almost tipped us
You
over.
clumsy fool, Sniggers.
I'm a little jittery, I am, remembering who's in this box.
Never mind that. Get rid of him.
There now. That's better. Hold it.
What?
Okay, let her go.
Ah. There he goes.
Toodaloo, Mr. F. That's the last of you, it is.
As the Scarlet Widow looks on, the cedar chest containing the unconscious Superman, with a piece of the deadly kryptonite at his side, falls into the fog-swept sea, rocks for a moment, then sinks slowly beneath the waves. Moment more as the Scarlet Widow and Sniggers watch eagerly, and it is lost to view in the dark depths. Is Superman gone forever? Have his enemies triumphed at last over the Man of Steel, and the truth and justice for which he fought and lived? Fellows and girls, don't miss tomorrow's dramatic episode. Every moment of it is exciting. Tune in, same time, same station, for the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publication. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today, as the kryptonite glows relentlessly beside the unconscious form of the Man of Steel far below the sea, his friends at the Daily Planet are beginning to worry about the man they know as Clark Kent. To prove to Superman's 4 deadliest enemies that a fragment of the shattered planet Krypton could make them masters of the Man of Steel, the Scarlet Widow set a trap for Superman in her penthouse apartment. In a desperate attempt to recover the kryptonite, which robs him of all his strength when he comes within 10 feet of it, Superman appeared at the apartment. Although he remained a safe distance from the main fragment of kryptonite, tiny particles planted around the room caused him to lose consciousness. Placing Superman in a large cedar chest, together with a small piece of the deadly kryptonite, the Scarlet Widow had the chest taken 2 miles out to sea, dropped overboard. As we continue now, the following morning, Lois Lane has just entered the office of Editor Perry White at the Metropolis Daily Planet. Listen.
Chief, this is serious. Clark is missing.
Ah, nonsense, Lois,
Then
nonsense.
where is he? He hasn't been seen since the night before last. He hasn't been in his apartment either. Jim and I were there yesterday and again this morning. His bed hasn't even been slept
So
in.
what? Kent's probably out playing detective.
Detective.
Sure. He's never happy unless he's making like Sherlock Holmes.
Now, listen,
He must
Chief.
be trying to find that piece of kryptonite or whatever they call it that was stolen from the Metropolis Museum.
I-
Now stop worrying about him. Kent acts like a screwball pretty often, but he can take care of himself.
But where is he? He's never been gone so long without getting in touch with us.
Will you stop asking me where he is? How do I know?
Well, you don't have to bite my head off just because you're worried.
Who's worried?
You are, and you know it. I think we ought to call Inspector Henderson.
Are you out of your mind? Kent isn't a baby, and besides, Henderson's got his hands full hunting for the vulture and the teufel and Papa Rouse and the laugher and... What's that?
Your intercom.
Don't you think I know what it is? Yes, Miss Backrack.
Inspector Henderson just called Mr. White.
He did? Well, put him on. Come on. What are you waiting for?
He isn't on the line. He just gave me a message for you and hung up. He said he was in a hurry.
Oh, well, what was the message?
He said he hasn't been able to find any trace of Mr. Kent.
Oh, he hasn't, eh?
No, but he said Mr. Kent has been at police headquarters last night with Captain Donovan.
Donovan?
Yes, Inspector Henderson said that Olson had spoken with Captain Donovan and was on his way here now.
Olson? Jimmy Olson? Oh, okay, that's fine. Send him in as soon as he shows up.
Yes, sir.
You hear that, Lois? Kent was at police headquarters last night and...
Yes, I heard. So you did call Inspector Henderson after all.
Huh?
Oh, you told me you weren't worried about Clark.
No, well, I had to talk to Henderson anyhow about those 4 crooks who broke out of jail, and, I just happened to mention Kent. Now, where's Olson? Headquarters is only 5 minutes from here, and I suppose he had to stop and get the baseball scores.
I'm sure he didn't. Jim's just as worried about Clark as we are. As a matter of fact, I think he's pretty...
There you are, Olson. Come in.
Hello, Jim.
Never mind the greetings. Never mind. Now, just tell us what Captain Donovan told you.
Well, how did you know?
Never mind how I know. A little bird told me. An elephant told me. Will you stop wasting time and start talking?
Well, sure, if you'll give me a chance. Mr. Kent was at police headquarters last night, trying to get Captain Donovan to help him look for the kryptonite.
Ah, there. You see, Lois?
Donovan told Mr. Kent he was crazy.
And he's right.
Especially when Mr. Kent said he was sure the theft of the kryptonite was tied up with the jailbreaks of the Teufel, the Vulture, Papa Roush, and the Laugher.
Well,
Kent said that?
Uh-huh. Then he got a phone call. Captain Donovan didn't know who it was from, but Mr. Kent hung up. His face was white as a sheet, Donovan said. Then he told Donovan that Superman would either come to police headquarters with the kryptonite in an hour, or else he'd probably never be seen again.
What?
Jim, that's what Mr. Kent said. He went right out. Gosh, I'm worried. Where do you suppose he went? And what did he mean about Superman never being seen again?
He didn't mean anything. He was just trying to sound important.
Mr. Kent's no four-flusher.
I can't understand. Good heavens.
Huh?
What, Lois?
Clark might have fallen into the vulture's trap, or the Teufels, or the Laughers, or Papa Rouse.
What are you talking about? What trap?
Now, Chief, Clark had a hand in sending all 4 of those terrible men to jail.
Yes.
And don't you remember at their trials, each one swore that he'd get Clark?
Jeepers, that's right. Golly, Miss Lane, you think they got Mr. Kent?
Well, there's no reason to think so. Kent was on the trail of the kryptonite.
If they were after him, they knew that. And so they could have set a trap for him using the kryptonite and maybe even Superman as bait. And poor Clark just walked into it. That would explain his telling Captain Donovan last night that if Superman wasn't there with the kryptonite in an hour, he might never be seen again.
Yeah, and Superman didn't show up, and neither did Mr. Kent. Gee whiz, what'll we do?
Well, no. The thing to do is not to lose our heads. I'll get in touch with Inspector Henderson.
No. What we've got to do is to contact Superman.
Superman?
Yeah,
how in the world...
that's it, Miss Lane. Superman can find Mr. Kent, and it would be only fair, too, seeing how Mr. Kent got in trouble trying to help him.
Oh, wonderful. Just pick up the phone, Olson, and give Superman a ring.
Yeah. How are we going to contact him?
Well, once, when I needed him, I broadcast from our radio station for Superman, and he heard me.
Say, that's right.
Remember?
And he got there just in time to save us.
Yes.
Remember, Chief? I mean, Mr. White?
No, I'll never forget it. Well, what are you waiting for, Lois? Maybe it'll work again. Come on. We'll go upstairs to the studio right now, and you can try broadcasting for him again. Maybe it'll work.
Hurrying from the city room, Perry White, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen rushed to the radio studio on the roof of the Daily Planet, where, at a command from White, the news program is interrupted so that Lois, standing before the microphone, can broadcast an appeal for Superman.
Superman. Calling Superman, wherever you are. Clark Kent is in danger and needs you. He's in danger because he tried to help you. So please help him now. Superman. Calling Superman. Please contact the Daily Planet at once.
Again and again, Lois Lane sends her SOS for Superman out over the airway, little knowing that at this very moment, Superman, who is Clark Kent, lies unconscious in a large cedar chest weighted with stones and a piece of the green, glowing, eerily humming kryptonite at the bottom of the sea. The powerful tide catches at the chest and rolls it over, then drags it along the sandy, pebbly bottom, turns it again and again and again, as in some grim, ironic game. We'll return in a moment for the dramatic climax of today's episode. But first, let's hear from our good friend.
Say, gang, if you let today go by without sending for your sundial wristwatch, the one Kellogg's Pep is putting out, well, you'll be missing out on something mighty swell. In the first place, this timepiece is so doggone good-looking, you'll want to wear it all day long. The dial's made of shiny aluminum, about as big around as a regular wristwatch, and there's a handy strap to hold it flat to your wrist. You'll use it often to tell time to the sun. All you do is lift the pointer on the dial and aim it due north. The sun's rays will make the shadow of the pointer fall on the dial, and that's the hour of the day. You don't want to be without this sundial wristwatch when you go on hikes or on scouting patrol or when you go to club meetings. Now, this is the very last day I'll be telling you about this wristwatch. So send in for yours today. First, ask Mom to get a couple of packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Tear off the 2 box tops. Be sure you get the ones marked top, and send them along with 10 cents in cash and your name and address clearly printed to Superman, Box 157, Battle Creek, Michigan. It's your last chance. It's hurry, 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 gang. Send for your modern sundial wristwatch today from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
Now, back to the adventures of Superman. North of Metropolis, on the beach before a small, rough shack made of old boat planks, a fisherman and his daughter are drying their nets as the powerful surging tide comes in. In the distance, beyond the black rocks, a brewing storm darkens the afternoon sky. The fisherman is bent and weather-beaten. His daughter Abigail is about 16, dressed in overalls, her hair free and flowing, her feet bare.
Big storm brewing out there, Pa.
Yep. Ain't gonna have these nets dry before that storm blows the rain in, Abby. Yeah, might as well leave 'em.
All right, Pa. I'll go in and cook supper then. Oh, look out there.
Eh? Look at what?
Right out there by the sandbar. Some kind of a box the tide blew it in.
Hey, sure enough. Stuck on the bar, she is.
Pa, let's go get it. Might be something good in it.
What are you talking about, Abby? Take a chance in that riptide count of some worthless old box?
Oh, I'm not afraid, Pa. Might be something fine in it. Like some nice dresses I could wear, maybe.
Nonsense.
Oh, you can't be sure, Pa. There might be something in it we could use. We could use a lot of things.
Well, that we can, Abby. A young girl like you should have pretty things. But you ain't gonna find them in that old box.
We could drag it in and look.
Ain't worth the risk, I tell you. You know as well as I do how strong that riptide is. Besides, look at that storm building up in the north. Might hit us before we could get back. Come on now. We'll go in and get supper.
Pa.
What now?
I'd be awful obliged if you'd go out with me and fetch back that box.
Hey, you're just like your mother was, Abby. Looking up at me so trusting-like. Yeah, and figuring to twist me around to her way of thinking. Well, I'll tell you what. The tide ain't all in yet. If so be it lifts the box off from the bar, so she comes in past the worst of the rip, and if the storm ain't blowed up yet when that happens, well, we'll go get the box.
But, Pa, the tide might not pick the box off the bar.
Well, you don't get it then. Nothing lost. Come on now into the house. Get your old pie supper. Stop looking back at that box. Tell you there ain't nothing in it worth having.
All right, Pa. Just as you say.
Reluctantly, the young girl follows her father into their shack, neither of them knowing that the fisherman has consigned Superman to the freakish will of the tide and the brewing storm. Yes, Superman is in that chest on the sandbar. With him, the deadly kryptonite. What will happen? Is Superman still alive? Will the tide mercifully carry him beyond the sandbar into the reluctant hands of the fisherman? Or will it fail to dislodge the cedar chest, then carry it back into the fathomless sea? Which will it be? Don't miss Monday's startling episode, fellows and girls, when we learn the fate of the Man of Steel. Tune in, same time, same station, and listen to the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellas and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publication. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, The Super Delicious Cereal presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today it would seem that the chest containing his unconscious form has been left to the whims of a merciless sea. A piece of green glowing kryptonite, a fragment of the planet on which Superman was born, has the strange power to rob the man of steel of all his strength when he comes within 10 feet of it. Planning to make millions by selling the mysterious metal to Superman's enemies, a woman called the Scarlet Widow stole the kryptonite from the Metropolis Museum, and when Superman made a desperate attempt to recover it, lost consciousness. The widow placed him in a cedar chest with a small piece of the kryptonite and consigned the chest and Superman to the bottom of the sea. The incoming tide carried the chest to a sandbar near shore, where it was seen by a fisherman and his young daughter, Abby. The fisherman refused to battle a powerful riptide to rescue what he thought was a worthless box. And as we continue now, in their shack on the beach, his daughter Abby interrupts her cooking to stray to the window. Listen.
Yeah?
Pa, I think that storm's going to blow itself out to the north.
Sounds like it might at that, Abby.
Pa,
What now?
that box is still stuck on the bar.
Tide will be all in soon. It'll lift her off.
The box might float out to the sea.
There won't be no harm done. That old box is worthless.
But, Pa, you promised if the storm didn't blow up, we'd go and get it.
I promised if so be the tide lifted her off in the bar and brought her in past the worst of the rip, which it ain't done. Now, you forget that old box, Abby, and tend to the supper you got in the stove.
All right, Pa.
Abby,
What, Pa?
you're crying.
No, I'm not, Pa.
Yes, you be. You just kind of that old box?
Not just.
What then?
Thinking about the party at the Grange Hall Saturday night. And how all I've got to wear is these overalls. Pa, I'm getting too big to wear overalls now, except in the boat.
Abby, come here.
Yes, Pa?
Abby, you know, could I get you one of them fine dresses at the store, I'd get it.
Oh, I know, Pa. It's just that...
Just what?
Oh, you're so stubborn, Pa. Say there ain't anything in that box on the bar.
There ain't.
Well, you don't know, Pa. Not for sure. Maybe there is something in it. Maybe there's dresses or money or something we can sell for things we need so bad, Pa.
I tell you there ain't. It's just a worthless old box. Anyone with two eyes can see it.
All right, Pa. I can't go out for it myself. I won't mention it no more, Pa.
Don't you? Dresses in that old box. Money. There ain't nothing in it, I tell you. Stop sniffling.
Yes, Pa.
You just like a woman. Abby, get that line off in the hook and come along.
Where, Pa?
You know where. We're going after that box.
Oh, Pa.
Yes, I'll just show you your old pa knows what he's saying. Now get that line and bring it to the dory.
Oh, wait, Pa. Wait for me. The box is still there, Pa, ain't it?
Yep. He's stuck in the sand good. I don't like the looks of that riptide, though. Get caught in it and we ain't got a chance.
Oh, I ain't afraid. Not with you. Everyone says you're just about the best hand with a boat they ever see.
Well, I'll need to be. Good thing that storm veered off. If we can work in close to the rocks and hit the bar above the rip, there's enough water over the bar now to come down to your dratted box. It ain't going to be easy bringing it back, though.
Oh, you can do it, Pa. You can do anything.
Now you got your old pa doing what you want. He ain't no more stubborn old mule, huh?
Oh, I never called you a mule. You're just about the finest pa a girl ever had. And I'm just hoping there's something in that box for you, too, Pa.
Not even a moldy cracker, I'll bet you. Throw the line in the dory, Abby, and help me shove her into water.
All right, Pa.
Come on now. Push. That's it. The stuff. There we are. Now, wait for this roller, Abby. There. Now get in. Set in the bow and be ready to push if when we pitch into the rocks.
All right, Pa. Pa?
Yep.
You figure the tide might
just might.
Then it'll smash to pieces. We'll lose it, Pa.
Won't be losing nothing.
Oh, don't say that. Hurry, Pa.
This is a job that can't be hurried. We'll be there soon enough, though. Ain't more than 30 or 40 yards. It's just the rip we got to be careful of. And them rocks. Watch sharp now, Abby. Going to come in close.
I'm watching. Look out, Pa, that big rock.
Yes, I see it. Had to shave that one close to the rip of the head.
Oh, the box is still there.
Good thing if you'd never seen it. We're taking a fool's risk, we are, Abby.
Oh, maybe there'll be something fine in it. Pa, look.
Look at what?
The box. Kind of a green glow shining through it.
Don't mind the box. Mind them rocks.
What do you suppose makes that green glow? Look at it, Pa.
I told you. Abby, what's up?
Oh, what's the matter?
We're going to smash up on the rock.
Pa! Oh, Pa! Pa!
Abby, where are you? Abby! Abby!
Here I am, Pa! Pa!
I see you. Swim for the bar. Just ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Don't let the rip get you. Keep going straight.
I know, Pa.
You're almost there. Keep going.
Pa.
Don't talk. Swim. Swim straight, girl. Straight. You're almost there. Now, you feel the bar under you?
Yes, Pa.
Now, don't slip off. Don't slip off. You'll be in the rip. Grab onto the box there.
I got it.
Good. Hang on. I'll be right there.
Grab my hand, Pa. Here, Pa,
All right.
come on.
You hang on with both hands. I can make it. Yes. It's a good thing we were so close to the bar. Hang on good to the box, Abby.
I pulled the door he smashed, Pa. I wasn't watching the rocks like you told me. Oh, how are we gonna get back?
Well, we gotta hope this here box stays put till the tide's all in. If so be, we can swim out of the ways and work back round the rip to shore.
Or if the box comes loose before the tide's all in.
Yeah, let's not be thinking about that.
I wish I'd never seen this old box. There's nothing good in it, I know. What's this the story?
Ain't no use taking on about that now, Abby.
I know, Pa, I'm a wicked girl. Pa!
Hey?
Pa, the box is coming
Yes,
loose.
I'm feared she be. Hang on tight, Abby.
Pa! Pa, we're gonna be swept into the river.
Hang on to the box, Abby. Hang on for your life.
Frantically, the old fisherman and his daughter Abby cling to the cedar chest in which lie the unconscious Superman and the deadly kryptonite, as the powerful surging tide lifts it from the sandbar. We'll return in a moment for the startling climax of today's episode. But first, let's stand by for a friendly tip.
You know, gang, I got a preview of those swell new comic buttons, the new prizes in packages of Kellogg's Pep. I saw some of them this morning, and I could hardly wait for time for Superman so I could give you the big news, because I had an idea you'd be just as excited about them as I am. Think of it, 18 different buttons in real brilliant colors on sturdy metal, each one with a picture of one of your favorite comic strip characters, like Moon Mullins and K.O., Orphan Annie, her dog Sandy, and Superman, of course. 18 brand new buttons to collect and trade with your friends and wear pinned on your shirt or dress or jacket. Talk about a swell hobby. Boy, this is it. And the best part is, you don't have to send in any money for these new comic buttons, not even a box top. You can't buy them anywhere. They're an exclusive prize for you in packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. So ask Mom to get you some Pep tomorrow. Then see which prize you find inside. One of these nifty new comic buttons or a military insignia or warplane button. Get set to collect them all. There's one of these exciting prizes in every package of P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Their door erect in their effort to secure the cedar chest containing Superman, which was stuck on a sandbar, the fisherman and his young daughter Abby cling frantically to the chest as the incoming tide dislodges it and sweeps it into a savage, rushing riptide.
Phosphorus in the water, likely. Hang on, Abby. Hang on. The box is coming to pieces. Hang on to me, Abby.
What's wrong?
Easy, girl. Easy. I got you.
Oh, you're no good, boss. Oh, look. In the box. It's a man.
Land of mercy. Abby. Abby.
Oh, I'm drowning.
Fighting desperately but helplessly in the savage riptide, Abby and her father are hurled violently apart, whirled over and over, then dragged beneath the surface as the cedar chest containing the unconscious figure of Superman is ripped to shreds. What will happen to them? And to the Man of Steel? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode, fellows and girls, when we learn the fate of Superman and of Abby and her father. Tune in, same time, same station, for The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, who is today freed of the greatest threat to his power, the fragment of kryptonite. Learning that a piece of kryptonite, a fragment of the shattered planet on which Superman had been born, had the strange power to rob the Man of Steel of his strength, a woman called the Scarlet Widow stole it from the Metropolis Museum. In a desperate attempt to recover the fragment, Superman lost consciousness, and the widow placed him in a cedar chest with a small piece of the kryptonite and dropped him into the sea. The tide carried the chest to a sandbar near shore, where a fisherman and his young daughter Abby were wrecked while trying to retrieve it. Clinging to the cedar chest, they were swept into a savage riptide. And as it broke apart in the wild water, they appeared doomed. As we continue now in the cold, raging sea, Superman, freed of the presence of the kryptonite, is regaining consciousness. Listen.
What? Where am I?
Abby! Abby!
I hear someone. It's another voice. Wait, Scott. I'm in the sea. How did I... Wait a minute. There's a girl caught in the riptide. And an old man. Tide's pulling them under. Away to them! Away!
Picking the girl and her father from the seething water, Superman, once more in possession of all his amazing powers, streaks to the fisherman's shack on the beach, the two wet, bedraggled figures in his arms. There, after the girl and her father have changed into dry clothes, they sit drinking hot tea, listening in wide-eyed amazement to the man in the red cape and blue costume.
I'm sorry I can't tell you who I am or how I came to be in that cedar chest. But I do want you to trust me and promise not to mention a word of what happened today.
Oh, my stars. I don't hardly know what happened to you, Pa.
Well, it seems like I know, Abby, but I can't believe it. This here fella seemed to be dead in that there box. But the next thing you know, he was flying us out of the rip.
I didn't know for sure this was our own kitchen. I'd be sure we were in another world.
Well, I assure you you're not in another world, Abby. Now, about that promise. It's very important that my enemies and yours don't find out what happened.
Our enemies?
We ain't got no enemies, mister. Not since the war's been over.
Oh, yes, you have. Although the war is officially over, there are many evil, fanatical men and women who are plotting ways and means of building toward another war and undoing all we fought for.
My stars.
You mean them Nazis and Japs?
Yes, and their sympathizers. There are many of them. Some were involved in this attack on me. Now, will you promise to keep all that happened here today a strict secret?
Oh, of course we will. Will we, Pa?
Of course.
I don't think now that the kryptonite itself can kill me, but apparently it can keep me unconscious as long as I'm within 10 feet of it. My body needs food, so eventually, if I'd been carried back to the bottom of the sea, I'd have perished.
Yeah?
Krypton what?
Huh? Oh, never mind. And by the way, Abby, You said you saw a piece of green glowing metal fall out of the cedar chest.
Oh, that's right. Remember, Pa?
Yep. Looked like phosphorus, it did.
How big was it?
Oh, it was pretty small. How big would you say, Pa?
No bigger than a pebble.
Well, that means they put only a tiny fragment in the chest with me. Got to recover the rest of it in a hurry before they... I'm going now. Thanks again. By the way, Mr.
Hinkle, Sam Hinkle.
Mr. Hinkle, I'll see that you get a new dory to replace the one you smashed on the rocks.
There ain't no reason for you to get me a new dory, mister. We didn't know 'twas you in that old box. The honest truth is, we went out 'cause Abby here had a fool notion might be fancy dresses and stuff in it.
That's right.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe Abby found her fancy dresses at that.
I don't know what you mean, mister.
Well, you'll both be hearing from me. Thanks again.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
This is the closest call I've ever had. It mustn't happen again. I'd better go back to the planet first. Up and away!
Leaving the humble fisherman's shack, Superman streaked through the late afternoon skies toward Metropolis, red capes streaming in the wind. Meanwhile, in Perry White's office at the Daily Planet, gray-haired editor Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane are frantic with worry at the mysterious absence of Clark Kent.
Maybe you ought to try broadcasting for Superman again, Miss Lane. He can find Mr. Kent.
I've been broadcasting for hours, Jim, and all I've done is lost my voice. He must be beyond the range of our station.
Or else he's in trouble.
Superman in trouble? Don't be silly, Olsen.
But Mr. Kent said if Superman didn't come to headquarters with the kryptonite by midnight last night, he might never be seen again.
Kent didn't know what he was talking about. Got himself all steamed up about the kryptonite being a danger to Superman, and he wound up by getting himself in trouble. Fancies himself a detective and walks into a trap. Of all the dumb, the asinine, the half-witted...
Talking about someone I know, Chief?
Why,
Kent.
Mr. Kent!
Clark.
Look, it's Mr. Kent.
Is it really you?
In the flesh, Lois.
Well, where have you been?
we've been
Golly,
going
now,
crazy
what
here.
you
What
worried about
Take it
you?
easy. Take it easy. What's all the excitement about?
Huh?
What's all the excitement about?
What?
Why, you...
Watch your blood pressure.
A lot you care about my blood pressure. Where have you been the last 48 hours? Not that I should know, of course. I'm only your editor, the fool who pays you your salary.
Why,
Oh,
well, you
we've
see,
been worried to death.
We thought you'd been trapped by the vulture or one of the others who escaped with him.
Well,
We've been driving the police department crazy. Lois has practically lost her voice broadcasting an SOS for Superman.
Superman?
Yeah, we thought maybe he could find you, Mr. Kent.
Oh, well, sorry you were also worried about me.
He's sorry now. Isn't that noble of him?
Well, now...
That doesn't answer my question, Kent. Where have you been?
Well, I started out to look for the kryptonite.
Well, did you find it?
No.
How about Superman?
Hmm?
You told Captain Donovan that Superman might never be seen again.
Superman's all right, Jim. For the moment.
For the moment?
Mm-hmm.
How do you mean, Clark?
Just what I say. He's all right until the widow and Sniggers and the others make another attempt against him with the kryptonite.
The widow and who?
He said Sniggers.
Well, who's the widow and Sniggers?
They're the ones who have the kryptonite. A woman called the Scarlet Widow and a little cockney named Sniggers. They're working with the Vulture, Der Teufel, Papa Rausch, and the Laugher.
They
How do you know?
Well, I haven't time to explain now. There's a lot to do, and it must be done quickly. Look, Chief, I've written descriptions of the Scarlet Widow and Sniggers. I want you to run them on the first page of the Daily Planet. Explain that they're a menace to Superman and to society, and ask anyone seeing them to communicate with us or the police department.
Now, wait a minute. What?
There isn't a minute to waste, Chief. Not a second. If you hurry, you can get those descriptions into the last edition. Jim, you come with me.
Oh, gosh, sure, you bet. Where, Mr. Kent?
And you'll find out. Come on.
Now, look here, Kent. What do you mean, just walking into my office and giving me and my staff orders?
Well, it's only...
I'm the editor here, and I want to tell you to tell me what this is all
I've
about.
told you all I can now, Chief. Please trust me.
Trust him. Of all the
Really? Clark Kent, the one-man detective agency and police department. Haven't you any orders for me, Sherlock?
No, but I do have a favor to ask you, Lois.
What's that?
Would you please go to the best store in town and get 2 of the fanciest party dresses you can buy?
What?
I don't know what size, but it's about the same height and weight as Jim.
Gee,
Uh-huh.
dresses? Why, Clark Kent, don't tell me you've got a girl.
Huh? Oh,
Yes.
of course not, Lois. No, you see...
Oh, look at him blush.
No,
Oh, Mr. Kent's got a girl.
Never mind that. Now, I want to
Come on,
know
Jim.
where are you
Forgot
going?
something
Now you
important.
come back
We've
here.
got to move
Now you
fast.
come on back here.
Leaving Perry White's office, Clark Kent hurries to the elevators, followed by the eager Jimmy Olsen. What is so important that Kent forgot? We'll return in a moment for the climax of today's episode. But first, here again is your announcer.
I'm telling you, gang, these new comic buttons, the new prizes in packages of Kellogg's Pep, are just about the most fun that ever happened. In the first place, they're old, familiar favorites. You know, pals you've been following in the funny papers for a long time, like Smitty and Herbie and Skeezix and Superman, of course. And they're done up in full comic strip colors, printed clear and bright as anything on sparkling white metal buttons. the kind you can pin on your jacket or dress or cap. Then there's the fun of collecting all 18 different buttons, trading duplicates with your friends. Boy, makes a swell hobby. You get 'em as exclusive prizes in packages of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. So get busy on your collection. Ask Mom to get you a package tomorrow. That's P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
Now, back to the adventures of Superman. Hurrying to Metropolis Police Headquarters with Jimmy Olsen, Clark Kent found that Inspector Henderson was out. After speaking to Captain Donovan, Henderson's assistant, Kent, Jimmy, and Donovan entered a police car with several officers and were driven swiftly to a 65-story apartment building on Boulevard Drive. As we join them now, they have just entered a private elevator. Captain Donovan is taking it up.
You'll broadcast the descriptions of the Scarlet Widow and Sniggers all over the country, Captain Donovan?
So on the teletype now, Kent.
Good.
I want to look at this apartment you say they were in with the Vulture, the Teufel, and those two others.
Oh, Papa Roush and the Laugher. Gosh, I want to see their apartment, too.
You'll see it in a moment. The penthouse of this building. They're not there now. That's why I was in such a hurry to give you the descriptions of the widow and Sniggers, Captain.
How do you know they're not there now, Kent?
Oh, sure of it.
Mr. Kent says they all beat it with the kryptonite.
He says. Building superintendent didn't see them move out.
This is a private elevator for the penthouse, and it opens on the side of the building. They could easily have left without being seen, especially at night.
We'll soon find out. Here's the 65th floor. Okay, man. Quiet now.
You don't have to be careful. I tell you, there's nobody in the apartment.
How can you tell, Mr. Kent?
Yeah. Maybe Kent looks through doors and walls like this fellow Superman he's so worried about.
Huh?
Ring the bell, Haley.
Okay, Captain.
See, I told you.
Ring it again, Haley.
Right.
Gosh, maybe they're all waiting in there with guns.
Oh, they're not, Jim.
Okay. You got the passkey, Haley. Open her up.
No, wait a minute. Don't open the door.
Huh? What's the matter with you, Kent?
Don't open it, I tell you. Don't.
You just said nobody was in there.
I know, but don't open it. Don't.
Amazed, Jimmy Olsen, Captain Donovan, and the police officers look at Clark Kent, whose face has turned ghostly pale. What has Kent as Superman seen in the Scarlet Widow's apartment? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode, fellows and girls. Tune in, same time, same station, and follow the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
Fellas and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.